Hi, I'm Deanna Springer with a fun Stitch It Sisters Stitch It in Minutes project. First, we'll introduce our Stitch It Sisters guest, Jill Repp. You may know Jill as the host of many June Tailor project inspiration videos. Welcome back to Stitch It Sisters, Jill.
Thank you, Deanna. It's such a treat to be here, always working with you and Team NZP. We always have a good time together and do some great projects.
We do. Today, we're sewing your pillows.
Yes.
Let's take a closer look at the pillows. We'll be making our Quilt As You Go pillows with Rainbow Garden Fabrics by Valentina Harper for Benartex, June Tailor's Magic Seam Wand, Glue Stick, and Quilter Start Savvy, Schmetz Chrome Quilting Needle size 90, Clover's Wonder Clips, and our Bernina B770 sewing machine. Before making our Quilt As You Go pillow, let's review what's included in the package.
Actually, you have 3 pillow designs included in one package. All 3 designs are different and they're all printed on this 80-20, 80 cotton, 20% polyester batting. You'll need a 16-inch pillow form and you'll need your own fabric to do these pillows. We're going to actually showcase a really fun way to finish the back of the pillows that's going to be really easy and great to take those inserts in and out of.
And that will need the Zippity-Do-Done.
Right.
So you're the designer. You choose your fabrics and you choose your coordinating Zippity-Do-Done. For our pillows, we've selected the Rainbow Garden Fabrics by Valentina Harper for Benartex. Then we need to prepare our fabrics for the sewing process.
We do, and what we want to do is starch our fabrics, and we use Starch Savvy. This formula is great because it gets just a little bit stiffer with every application. And since we're piecing on top of the batting, we're going to be finger pressing, not using an iron. We want the fabrics nice and stiff so they finger press nicely.
So you've already pre-starched and pre-cut all of the fabrics for this project.
Yes, we tell you in the instructions exactly what size to cut and how many. It's very friendly for 2.5-inch strips and easy to cut shapes. These are all starched. And we're going to start out by actually cutting the backing for our pillow. And we're going to attach it to the batting, and you can use quilt basting spray for that. Always spray the batting side with the basting spray, and that will secure the batting to our backing fabric. You can also run a stitch around here all the way around the edge if you want to as well to hold things securely in place.
And when you've cut these from the batting, you've left about 1/2 inch all the way around that
bit of
outside
margin,
line.
right.
And then after you spray baste the back of the batting and attach it to the pillow backing fabric, then
we start our piecing.
We move on to our piecing.
So we're going to start with piece number 1, which is a square cut on point, and we place that into position. And if you want, you can just actually glue it into position using this glue pen. It looks a little purple, but it's going to dry clear, and that holds piece number 1 in position like that. And then we're going to find piece 2, which is a rectangle right here.
And you're just meeting those lines.
Yes, those
They're
are placement lines,
They're
not
guide lines.
sewing lines. Exactly.
Right.
So we're never going to sew on lines. We're always going to sew at a scant 1/4 inch. But once we've got that into position, we're just going to lay piece 2 right sides together with piece 1 on that placement line and sew in a scant 1/4 inch. And when we do that and flip this up, it should land on the next placement line. So once we sew, we've got that done here. You can see I've sewn through both my fabrics, through the batting and through the backing. That's why it's called Quilt As You Go, because you're actually quilting as you sew.
Through all the layers.
Now let's flip that up, and you can either finger press like this because you've starched, or what we like is to use the Magic Seam Wand. This has a nice angle, flat edge to it, and it really gets those seam allowances nice and flat. You can also heat this up on your iron if you want, if you've got a stubborn fabric or a stubborn seam you're working with. So piece 1, piece 2, and the next step would be simply to place piece 3 right on the line again, right sides together, sew a 1/4 inch and flip. And we've got that step done here.
Again, quilting through all layers right through to the backing fabric.
And we've even added piece 4, which will press open, and piece 5. So you can see how fast this process goes. And it's okay if you don't always have things right on the line. Don't worry about that, because when we add our next piece, we're going to line right on that placement line, and our seam allowance will surely cover that up. So next we would be adding, for example, piece number 6, right sides together, right on that placement line, and sew in a 1/4 inch and flip up.
So the shape has changed a little bit. It's not a rectangle.
Oh,
It's
sorry, a triangle,
It's a
yes.
triangle. And it's the same method though. You stitch.
And flip it open
Flip it
and
open.
simply press it. Now when all that is done, you have basically the top of your pillow ready to go. You can do a little stitching around the edge if you want to hold things together, but that is the front of your pillow. And now we're going to start working on the back.
And you can see, Jill, that you've quilted it through all the layers. And you can use that coordinating thread with the fabric just to hide those stitches. But that's quilting. It's quilted through all 3 layers.
And if you like to add a little bit more detail, you could do some additional quilting in here. This is enough to keep that pillow front together. But you might have a beautiful machine stitch you want to use in here just to add a little bit more detail to your pillow. So now the front is done, and now we're going to look at the back. And so for the back of our pillow, we're actually cutting 2 pieces, top and bottom, to make the back of our pillow. But I want to install a zipper in this pillow, but
Let's show that, Jill.
I'm not a fan of zippers, so we have a really easy way to do a covered zipper and add it to the back of the pillow. And that's easy to get the form in and out and change it. You might want to change these out every season, your pillows.
Sure.
So a really nice way to do that. So we're going to use something called Zippity-Do-Done. And this is a zipper that's been pre-sewn into a casing. The casing opens up and you can actually insert your project in the left and right side and simply top stitch. No zipper foot is needed. It's very easy. All the hard work has been done for you.
And for beginners, the zipper insertion is sometimes the most intimidating part of sewing a project. It's not the most difficult, it's straight stitching, but sometimes it's a little bit intimidating. But your team has designed this and already sewn this together.
We've done the hard
it's
work for you.
Zippity-Do-Done, and it's ready to go.
We chose the black to go with the fabric, but it's also available in other colors such as white and the camel, the light gray, navy, and red. So all the basic colors that go with most of the fabrics.
You just buy a package that coordinates with your fabric.
Yes, and I can show you. I mean, it's easy to insert your project in here, but I wanted to do a little bit more detail with this one. I wanted to actually cover the zipper. So I started out by cutting a 2-inch strip of fabric and then just pressing under a 1/4 inch.
And I like to use the Clover's hot ruler with that. So you just line that up at the ironing board and press. You just press under that 1/4 inch.
So you've got a perfectly sized strip. And then what we're going to do is take that and we're going to lay the finished or pressed underside right on the edge of the zipper. There's a stitching line where we inserted the zipper. You can put that fold line right over the top and make a stitch connecting that piece of fabric.
So we could pin that.
You can pin that in place or you can use your glue pin. And this is a raw edge. So finished edge goes here, raw edge is still here. And I've got that sewn for you in this step so that you can see what that looks like. So
you've just top stitched that right on to the Zippity-Do-Done zipper tape.
And I'll show you in a minute what to do with the raw edge. I'm going to repeat it on the other side. So now both sides have the folded sewn piece.
You have a designer
and then
zipper.
What we're going to do is we're going to open that casing, take that fabric, and just turn it right to the inside and press it into place. And by doing that, we've essentially covered our Zippity-Do-Done zipper.
And amazingly, you have custom from your own fabric, your own Zippity-Do-Done.
Exactly, which you don't see in any other project.
Right.
So this is what it looks like when we're done preparing Zippity. It's completely covered. Both casings still open up.
And it's just pressed under.
It's just, there's no need, there's no need to do anything more than press it, because what you're going to do is you're going to slide your project right in here like this.
And center it.
Center it. And then all we're going to do, Deanna, is just run a stitch right across here.
And you just did a straight stitch. So you set your sewing machine for 2.5 stitch length, insert that new Schmetz size 90 quilting needle, and you're ready to go.
And we're ready to go. So here we go. Let's keep this one out. I've got that done here. And then we would simply take that, insert our top, and stitch that down.
So this is the pillow back top,
right,
and the pillow back bottom.
And once that's stitched down, you've got your backing complete. Then you're simply going to take your Quilt As You Go front. You're going to put wrong sides together.
We would usually think right sides, but
we're going to
put wrong
well,
sides
if you want to
together.
bind it,
Right, if you want to turn it, you'd put it right sides together, but at this point, imagine that back is sewn. We'd put it wrong sides together.
And finish your binding.
And you can see that here. We'll bring this back. I thought this was really fun. You don't have to turn it and worry about your corners.
Exactly.
You put it wrong sides together and did a basting stitch around the edge, and then you added binding.
We did. We sewed our binding to the back side, brought it around to the front, and just top stitch. So this is a fast project.
It really is. And you cut your own 2.5-inch strips with a Binding Buddy ruler, but you could use your binding too. June Tailor has a binding available.
We do have matching binding available, but in this case, we just thought the fabric binding was great. Now this is one of the 3 designs that really focuses on that centerpiece. Would you like to see a couple
others?
others?
It lets the fabric shine. But you have other ideas too.
Well, this is the same pillow as that one. Let's take a look
just
at this.
Just by changing the fabric. So you've made a holiday pillow, and this isn't a fabric that you see in the fabric store.
This is our photo paper. So we're actually, photo fabric, we're actually running a piece of fabric through an inkjet printer. So you could center photos, graphics, text, anything, and then cut it into your square shape on point and really, you know, have a custom-made.
Right, a family member, a pet.
Anything.
Friends, gals get together.
And
That'd
I
be
think
fun.
people like to change their pillows out every season, so you might as well have a Christmas one, right?
Exactly. Fun.
And then there are the 2 other designs of the pillows, but let's show you a couple other options here. Here is that pinwheel design again, and we had it done with our beautiful butterfly fabric with high contrast. Here we've used many of the fabrics that kind of blend together, so you still see the pinwheel, but not quite as evident.
More subtle, just maybe texture, tonal texture.
And then this is the 3rd design of pillow that you get. This is the easy one. It only has the 4 pieces. You start with piece 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you've got an embroidery machine, you can add some really, really nice stitching on the side
Right.
here.
My sister Denise would machine embroider in this panel and perhaps the other panels as well.
And this is the same pillow, but look what we've done here. Our local high school was learning to sew, and they were looking for a fundraising project, and I love this idea. This is that exact same pillow. The 4 pieces are sewn, and in our high school, you get a letter one time when you letter in a club or academic or sport or band, whatever, and then in subsequent years, if you letter again, you get some kind of a charm. But those always seem to like get shoved in a drawer or get put somewhere nobody's actually getting to see them. So it's nice to be able to display these on your bed. People that have military honors or the police force, there's so many times you're receiving, you know, types of appliques and things.
Yes, don't let them sit in a drawer.
It's nice to find a way to showcase them, and this one pillow design is so simple. I think it works really well.
It truly showcases the awards, and color coordinating to your school colors or to match with the awards is a really fun idea and a very great gift. Anyone would be pleased to receive this as a gift. I think so too. So now that we've found this easy way to make pillows and 3 different designs that you get in each kit, you can change your pillows out for every season or every occasion. Right, for any reason.
Right.
Thank you for coming in again today, Jill, and thank you for sharing your fun, creative ideas.
You're welcome. Fun for me.
We hope you've enjoyed this Stitch It Sisters project. You'll find this Quilt As You Go pillow project, along with a limited number of project bundle boxes, at StitchItSisters.com. Be sure to tune in again for another Stitch It Sisters sewing adventure. In the meantime, connect with Stitch It Sisters and friends on our social sites. Stitch It Sisters is made possible by Bernina, Clover, Benertex Fabrics, June Tailor, OESD Oklahoma Embroidery Supply and Design, and shopnzp.com.
Bernina, made to create.